Recording. Hello. Okay, it is February 26th. Monday, February 26th is the last week of February. Woo! We got March coming up, and I'm excited for March. That is my birthday month, and so it is a good month. And it is a month of transition in springtime for us. So I'm excited for that. Hey, Lotta, how are you?
Wonderful. Hey, everybody.
Wonderful. Great. So let's just do a quick check-in. What have you been up to? Where are you going next? And what's in your way? John, I'm going to start with you. You were the first one in the door, so I'm calling on you first.
No problem. Hello, everyone. I guess overall things are progressing. I finally just opened up an escrow account to be able to start taking reservation fees. So I've sent out 5 different reservation forms on office space that I've shown, and hopefully we'll be receiving checks on those this week. Construction is coming along very well. The only thing probably holding us up right now is we're still waiting on funding from an SBA loan, and hopefully we'll be hearing back on the status, the underwriting by the end of this week. The only thing that's preventing is we're ordering some furniture and there's long lead time. So we're probably pushed back our opening a few weeks. So we're now looking at June 1st. But I think that's the date to be shooting for. So that's
all right.
In a nutshell.
All right. And in terms of next steps for you, what's any kind of questions in your mind about managing that transition and kind of gearing up for, getting ready for the next phase?
Not really. I just sent out a term sheet to a potential community manager that will be joining us, and should hear back this week whether she's going to accept the position. I'm fortunate in that she comes with a very extensive background in co-working. She actually works for Level Office and has opened up 13 offices nationwide. But she's tired of traveling. She has 2 young daughters here in Charlotte, and she approached me saying, "Hey, do you need someone to help run your business?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's great."
Wow. And how are you feeling about working with her? Like, you're getting a good vibe, I guess.
Yeah, actually, I've been very fortunate because we've met on a number of occasions, and she helped me actually help my pro forma because she did all the pricing here in Charlotte for their office. And fortunately, she was the area where we're looking to open. She said I was way under market. So she said, we can bump these rates up, and I'm not really getting much resistance when I'm showing the space. So she's already sort of paid for herself just by those recommendations.
What kind of rates are you talking about?
Oh, like for a single office of approximately 100 square feet, I think I was quoting like $595, and she bumped that up to about $650, $650 and $750 on some of the other spaces.
Do you have like dedicated desks and hot desks in addition to the offices?
Yes, we do. We're starting off our open spaces flex desk at $195 for the first 40, your founding 40 idea. Then we'll bump that up to $225. And then on the dedicated desk, we're looking at $375 for those.
Is that full time?
Yes.
Where are you located, John?
Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte's a really big banking community. It's headquarters to Bank of America, and Wells Fargo probably has their largest operation outside of San Francisco here. So there's a lot of office workers in this market.
John, can you tell me about a little bit about SBA, because I'm going to be approaching SBA for purchasing property.
Purchasing a property. Well, that's a real benefit, because probably the hardest thing about an SBA loan is they're going to look for collateral. And if you're, what makes it easier is if you own your real estate, you can pledge your collateral. If not, they're going to look toward assets, stocks, bonds, whatever liquid assets they could go after. And typically they're going to look for about 20 to 25% equity participation. So they're looking for you to pledge that in the form of collateral. So, but if you own your building, that probably will suffice for your equity contribution.
And who did your loan? Was it Wells Fargo? I think Wells Fargo is the largest SBA lender.
Well, actually, what I would probably recommend is try to find a community bank.
Okay.
wells done. I mean, it's try to find someone, and you can just, if you look up, you're in Miami, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
If you just Google top SBA lenders in Miami, it'll give you a list, and you might know a banker at one of those, but I think it's just there's approved lenders for SBA loans, and you want to find someone that sort of specializes in those, because we made the mistake. Our first bank we worked with, they didn't have a lot of experience in SBA loans, and basically came back and said we can't do it. So find someone that's pre-approved by the SBA, and really what they do is they do all the underwriting. So once you get through their process, pretty much a rubber stamp from the SBA.
I want one final note. What's the timeline? I know I know the turnaround isn't like 48 hours. So
no, not. I would say conservatively, you need to plan on about 6 weeks, and that's after you get all your documentation, and that can be a little lengthy. It could take, because you have to have all your financial reports. If it could take up to a week, 2 weeks just to get all that documentation ready for them. They can do it quicker, but I think 6 weeks is realistic.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, John. It sounds like we could talk a lot more about that in particular as well, but let's keep the intros going. And Lotta, since you're right there where we started to hear from you, what's the latest? Camera 1, camera 2. What's the latest on your end?
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I've been traveling. My mother died in the last year, so I've been handling her estate and just really on the go with banks and dealing with probate and all of that. But it's done, and I'm getting back. Did any of you see the article about co-working in the USA Today
last week?
No, but there was one in the New York Times too. People are sending me articles almost every day. This is really popping right now.
Oh,
really.
Wow. Yeah. There was, in the USA Today, there was a nonprofit. That's why I'm pointing out, because I got nonprofit status. It didn't take long. And the organization is called VetWorks USA. So I'm looking to petition the city and the county to try to see what they can ante up, and then go after foundation money.
Sorry. Okay. And in terms of like issues or challenges, anything blocking you?
Money. No, I mean, that's really big, money. I mean, I have to spend money in order to as you said, put together the package deals to be able to let someone look at and to, make contributions.
Yeah. And as far as your own situation, are you needing to generate income through other sources to kind of keep you afloat as you're working through this?
Yes, absolutely.
And is that something you have a good sense of, or is that something that we need to like work on?
I don't have a sense of it at all, to be honest with you. Just keep in mind, my focus has been military for the last 20 years. Gotcha. So this is absolutely new. I've had 2 small businesses. I mean, but they were more like hobbies than anything. But to run a nonprofit is extensive, and you need funding. I mean, so that's something that's totally new to me.
Gotcha. Okay, so I think maybe one of the things we can talk about today is kind of the balancing of the different kinds of things we have to do to make this work. Entrepreneurship, starting a business, so much of this is a hustle. And okay, so let's play with that. We'll see what we can do in the group setting, and then if you and I need to go one-on-one, we can do that too.
Okay.
Awesome. Jen, how are things going in your world?
In sunny Chicago. Good. Yeah, I've actually had a really busy 2 weeks. Let's see. I hired a marketer, and we're going to do trade for services. We need to work through our contract, so I guess I didn't officially hire her yet, but I met with her. She's on board. I'm on board. We're all on board, etc. Also had a great meeting with my potential landlord on Friday. We went through the space again. He needs some specifics in terms of some of the wall systems that I'd like, and also the lighting. And it's a great situation because not only like people have nothing but nice things to say about this landlord, which I feel like is a freaking unicorn. So, and he also does his own, he owns his own construction company. So any of the build out that he can do himself is going to be much, much cheaper. So I'm trying to figure out, and he's just a really above board guy. He's like, okay, I understand that you want this thing to look this way. That's going to be super expensive. I can do it this other way, which is going to be a lot less expensive. So he's pretty awesome. So, but still, I need to get to some details to him that are a little bit out of my wheelhouse. So, and then I had a really great meeting with a woman that I talked to briefly a few months ago. I would like to have a nonprofit in residence at my space. And so she runs basically a nonprofit for nonprofits. And she's going to help me spearhead this whole thing. So we're going to offer basically a residency for a nonprofit, free membership, and also some other perks as well, a coaching group with other members in the space, and they'll have some accountability and all that. And we'll probably do like an application process and then come up with a few finalists and then do public voting. We're working through that as well.
Awesome. That's so exciting. And is that something that you're going to be able to make progress on in advance of the opening of the space? Like, is that's something you'll be able to publicize, things like that?
No, I think that we're going to actually do it after the space opens. That was my initial thought, was that it launches like a few weeks after the space opens. If your gut reaction is that it should launch before the space opens, I'm open to hear more.
I guess, well, what I want is for you to have things that will entice people to come, and for you to have support from other leaders in your community in helping to grow that. So I would say this, let's say, even because I like the idea of leaving that as kind of a 1-2 punch, let that be something that helps you maintain momentum after the launch. So I like that. But I would say if there's a way that you can leverage this relationship to help to really boost the launch, then that can be helpful. So if this person that you're working with, how can they be involved in helping you get the word out about what you're working on and things like that?
Mm-hmm.
I think what I would want to see is for there to be something involved in the launch, whether it's some kind of warm-up thing that can lead to the larger program or something like that. Because the more leadership you have that isn't you, that's involved in the project, the easier it will be to recruit more.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Totally. Yeah. She's going to take ownership of this project, and I'm also offering her a year's worth of membership, just to have her on site, and she's pretty rad. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
Good. And you have an agreement in place for kind of what's expected in exchange for that year?
We're working on it.
Okay. All right.
Do you have such an agreement in the toolbox, Tony?
Yeah, we have a couple of different pieces. There's a desk share program called Community Cultivator program that we've used. And then I have just a generic agreement template that I've used as well for terms. And I don't know if I put the generic agreement in the toolkit. I'll just make a note to follow up. But yeah, between those two, you should have what you need.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Jennifer, how are things going over in Bethlehem?
Going great. So I think I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, but basically our soft opening is planned for this Thursday, which is March 1st. The very last piece we have to put in place in terms of getting the space ready is supposed to be done this afternoon, which is completing the whole internet connection. We have a printer that's arrived in the mail, and I'm ready to set that up at the same time. And then we're ready to go. We had a big event on Friday. This is going to be a monthly fourth Friday festivities that we're doing officially, since we didn't have the certificate of occupancy until, I hope, this morning. My husband was doing a walkthrough with the city. We were showing the space, and we had 15 people. Again, very excited about the whole concept. Telling me they knew this person and that person that they could send the information to. It was a really a feel-good kind of time. We had great food out there. We were encouraging people with the Post-it notes to if you have ideas, paint colors, whatever, write it down, put it wherever on the wall. Basically getting people's input, just like you've been recommending, Tony. And we have 2 members. So that's really very big news. I'm looking forward to finding out who our full-time members will be because we don't have those yet. So I'm just basically trusting in the process. I write a blog, and what we did do in the past month was post a couple of items in Facebook and LinkedIn, very different reactions, both positive in both places, but we think that our audience is on LinkedIn. As a writer, I've posted on LinkedIn before, and I've been excited when I got 2 people reading the article. This time, even though I have about 200 and some connections, and my husband has about 200 and some with overlap, we've been getting thousands of reads on a very basic article on the topic of, is there co-working in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania?
Oh, wow.
Okay. And in this article, which is just, it's basically SEO optimized for somebody typing that question into Google. I go through what co-working is. It's just a whole awareness raising. Go to my website, you'll see it, and you'll get ideas. Obviously, don't copy it, but if you wanted to do something similar, it worked very, very well. Our website is cowork414.com, and it's probably, I think it's the very first blog, so it would be down at the bottom of the page. But I talk about other co-work sites in Pennsylvania. I talk about a little bit of the history. I talk about what makes us a little bit different. And we did identify what we're doing to differentiate ourselves, which is we're going to offer marketing workshops at lunchtime twice a month. So first Wednesday, third Tuesday, it'll be a brown bag lunch. I'll be leading that because that's part of what I do, for my day job, is helping people with their marketing. So what we've been hearing is if you ask anybody, how's your marketing? It's, they're saying, oh, so it needs help. So that's an area that we can easily, without much effort at all, help people.
Awesome. This is so much great stuff, Jennifer. I feel like we need to just hang with you here a little bit more and have you talk to us a little more about your content strategy here.
I'd love to be able to do that. Now there's an echo when I'm talking. Okay, so as far as what's an obstacle, it was scary when I paid all the bills that basically are coming due, in this 1 week range that we're in right now after closing last month. But we're getting through that. And again, I'm just trusting in the process that this is going to work. We're definitely in a deficit scenario right now. But what I really feel good about, and that tells me, yeah, go ahead and trust that, is just the level of support and excitement that we're getting from everybody who hears about this. And it's ages across, they need this. Also, last Wednesday, I had lunch with 2 people from our city's economic development office. They both really like this. They both see this as a resource for the city, which is charged with drawing businesses to the city or key relationship building lunch. One of them in particular was super excited about our website. And the memberships that we've sold right now have been the community member, which we call it West Bethlehem membership. Just basically somebody who already has a place to work but wants to be part of something that she realizes is big, something that's really happening. And then the second person is going to be a basic member. She works right in the neighborhood. She can a working site. And that really brings in enough. We want to build connections within the neighborhood. I was thinking in terms of the other businesses nearby, but I think of coworkers who can walk to our site. Basically, she's probably one of many who will be doing that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, we don't have a huge site, and I've been thinking in terms of getting our first 3 coworkers. So we've got 2 out of 3 right now. So now I'm thinking particularly in terms of getting our first 3 full-time coworkers.
How big what's the square footage of your place?
Oh, it's about 1,200 square feet. It's the second floor of an older building. Okay, so we've got 2 rooms that could each house about 4 or 5 people. Not in crowded conditions at all. Plus, we have a conference room that could also be used as spillover if it wasn't booked. We're using TeamUp to book the conference room. I'm using Square to do the billing. I've settled on that now. And I'm using Print With Me for the printer copier setup. They're specifically designed for this scenario, so you don't have to get into a 5-year contract with a more traditional kind of business. We've got the kitchenette. I'm getting the kitchenette set up. I had to cave and buy one of those K-cup machines, which I didn't want to do, but I just have to add the refrigerator and the microwave there.
Did you do your own website?
I did.
I like what I saw.
Thank you.
What's the platform for that, Jennifer?
It's a WordPress site that I got through GoDaddy. GoDaddy's been pretty good too. I have another website through InMotion Hosting, which I also like. They both provide good customer service.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
And even our name has been getting a lot of positive feedback. The Cowork 414.
Nice.
The people in the demographic are liking that.
I like the tagline too, work by design.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's, again, because we're going to have on the first floor, our anchor tenant will be an architecture firm.
Awesome.
So, we're eagerly looking out for the arrival of our full-time people.
Yeah. So is there something that you can be doing now that we're in this final stretch to make a push to say, hey, sign up by Thursday, sign up Wednesday, sign up before we open and get, this is the time, this is it, we need your help, and you're going to get a special deal if you support us before we open. Is there a push you can make now that would be a little bit more aggressive to try to convert some of those people?
Okay, I love that idea, Tony, because we do have a 10% discount for people who, whatever you sign up before March 1st is 10% off, which for anybody listening out there, a friend of mine had suggested too late because I already had the word out. It should have just been $50 off your first month. That would have been more tangible to people, but okay. So yeah, we can do that on LinkedIn and Facebook. Put out a word like that. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, awesome. Yeah, because the thing that I definitely have needed to practice, and I think we all kind of probably do, if we're not like already naturally super sales sharks, is recognizing when it's time to really press.
Okay.
I really advocate for like building relationships before you try to sell people anything. Because then people know you as a human being, they trust you, they'll support you in some way, even if they're never your customers, even if they never give you money. And that's part of why we're doing this, is because the business will grow out of the authentic value and relationships that you have with other people, even if you don't exactly know how it works out. But then there's a time when it's time to say, hey, you know, I need something. This is the time when our relationship is such that I have a request to make of you. You know, this is an important day. You know, and you can do this like once or twice a year, where you really say, hey, this is the time when I need to cash in my cred here. You know, and you know, not to be like super too brash about it, but like if these people are going to be valuable to you, now's the time for them to be valuable to you, or they're not valuable to you. You know, like if someone's going to be like, like, you know, unsubscribe, great, awesome, like sayonara, because right now I need your help. And if you're not in, then that's fine. You know, and it's cool if somebody's not ready to participate now, but they will be down the line. You know, that's fine too. But for anybody who is ready, you know, we want to create some sense of urgency that, you know, this is the time I need you to sign up. This is the time that I need you to repost my message or forward my message to your church group or whatever, you know, whatever you need to do to help me make this happen. Like, let's blow the doors out of this thing, because history is going to get made. We're going to open the doors to this thing that's going to change Bethlehem's economy. You know, it's going to happen this week. It's happening Thursday. This is a big deal, and you get to be a part of it. Damn it.
Okay, thank you. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try to use as much of what you just said as possible and not ask myself too many questions. Just get it out there.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
I just had this image of us recording a commercial, you know, like each of us talking about why your project is important, and, you know, and then just doing a little rant, but maybe we'll save that for another time.
Okay.
Be kind of fun. I guess the citizens of Bethlehem wouldn't really necessarily have a reason to listen to a bunch of co-working space people from other cities. But one of the things I do really want is for the voices of the members to be heard. So, man, we don't do this nearly enough. What we need to do is really try to elevate the voices of the members as much as possible, because people believe members a lot more likely than they will believe us. You know, we're selling our project, but our members are not. Our members are our customers. So if the customers are saying it, like, wow, that's really cool, you know. For inspiration, I am going to send you the Kickstarter that we did for my co-working space, and there is a video that one of the members produced on that page. And it's really great because I'm in it, but the members are in it. The members are in it more so, as much as possible. And actually, there is another video like this that I'm going to try to dig up that's on YouTube.
Is that in the toolbox, Tony?
Is what in the toolbox?
The video you want, the video from Kickstarter.
No, I don't. I mean, I could like rip the video and put it on the tool kit. I guess I could do that. All right, I'm gonna figure that out. I feel like next version of the toolkit has to have like an online portal where we can have links to stuff, because right now, like the Google Drive doesn't really give us a way to like link to other things in the way that we would need to.
You could make a document that's like an index.
Yeah. Yes. That is true. That was probably like the next closest thing for now. Yeah. That's not a bad idea. I probably already have a starting point for it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay. So these guys came in and they were starting a new.
So
like,
I pulled it up. I'm looking at it now.
Okay. Yeah. And then this is another. Okay. So I just pasted in the YouTube link as well. To a video that was produced by this firm that was basically starting a new video production company, and they offered us a pro bono video. And so we had them produce one where they just interviewed a bunch of our members and asked them about their experience being coworkers. And It was great. It was really cool because it was 100% them. It wasn't me, and it was nice to be able to have the voices and the faces of the co-working space members represented there. So this is a good thing, you know, thinking about when you do an event like the one that you're describing, Jennifer. Even if it's a really lightweight thing, if you have like a little photo booth set up or something like that, maybe a friend who's into this, or it could be you or, you know, somebody part of your team. But if you just have someone who's saying, you know, hey, for this event, just pull people over and ask them to talk for 2 minutes about what they think about this project, right? Like really open-ended, but just saying like, why do you think this project's important to Bethlehem? You know, or like what benefit is this to you? Like, what's your story? You know, hey, I'm Leo and I'm a freelance web developer and I've been going crazy working from home. But then I met Jennifer and I've been coming to the Bethlehem co-working space and like now I've made all these great friends and I'm growing my business. Awesome. Done, right?
Right. That's all we need.
Yeah. And you know, you could do that with your smartphone camera, you know, and like, here's the crazy thing. You could edit this together using Apple's like native iPhone tools on your phone. Like, not to get like, we kind of got derailed into a whole video conversation here, but I think it's valuable because video is important in this day and age. Video doesn't have to be a big deal. Like you can make it a really big deal. You can do, you know, graphics and all of this stuff, but you can record some stuff on your phone. You can trim it. You can cut it together and use it and post it. Now I'm even thinking it might be worthwhile to just show you a little bit about the video editing tools that I've used because it might actually be useful to you guys. Is this interesting? Is this a direction that's useful?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is, this is fun. I'm excited we're doing this. Okay. I'm going to try to join this meeting from my phone and show you the tools that I have. So my whole thing with video is that I'm not going to do it if it's a lot of work. I've done a lot of stuff that is, you know, just too much. And then it never happens, and then that's no fun. So, okay, we now have my phone video up, and can I share my screen? Okay. Settings, control center, customize. All right, I need to be able to just get this going. Give me a second. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, wow, this is so cool, guys. I'm going to be able to broadcast my screen to you guys. All right, is this working? Yeah, check it out. Sweet.
Oh, wow.
You're looking at my phone
Wow.
now.
The future is now.
I know, this is great.
And which feature is that on your phone?
So this is the Zoom app.
Oh, okay.
And then in the iOS 11, the latest iOS, there's this feature for screen recording, which normally you could just record to your phone.
Yeah.
But apparently you can also record to Zoom. So that's what we're doing right now. So that's what's happening. So let me just show you real quick what I have for video because it is handy. And I realize you're just getting right into my world here, looking at my phone. This is a little vulnerable for me, but okay. So iMovie itself, right? This is I believe it's free with iOS, and you can create a project, and you can. I mean, honestly, actually, before we even do this, let's just look at. Oh boy, I'm going to go into my personal photos here and let's see what happens. Okay, videos. All right, so like I recorded this thing for a TEDx coming up, right? So like this is a video of me for my TEDx, and like I can edit this and I can trim it, right? So I can hold down on the beginning and end of this. Is it gonna work? Yeah, there it is. And so like I can trim it down. If I hold it, then it gets more granular, you know, so I can very easily trim this video. And in one take, I can have a video that's, you know, of reasonable quality if I'm doing just one thing. But then I can move it over into iMovie, and that's where I can like cut. So I can actually cut a video and then make you know, multiple clips, which is useful as well. I don't know exactly how this works. Haven't done this in a while. But then you can also just like throw some text on there, which is cool. You know, and put some formatting on it, put some background music. So I don't know that this is demonstrating it really the way that I want to, but this can at least let you tie little clips together. This is a 5-minute video, so we don't need to wait for that to render. Let me see if I can show you what multi-track looks like on this. And by the way, there are a bunch of other apps that do this stuff too. All right, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so we're just going to make a very quick little project here. I think this is helpful because if you can produce even just, honestly, this is why this is important. And I'll say this while we're waiting for this to load up. If you have one good movie, like one good little video that you can have on YouTube, that you embed on your website of your members talking about why your space is so awesome, like that can be valuable to you for forever. So I think that's kind of why I'm emphasizing this, because you don't need to become like a super professional videographer, and this doesn't need to be something you spend a lot of time on. But if you just produce like one really good video of your members hanging out and talking about why they love working with you, it really, you know, can just provide a lot of value for a long time. So I hope you guys are just enjoying that I'm just making this up as I go. Great. And yeah, I can cut it. How do I cut it? Oh, I'm just doing that. Right. So I can load the same clip multiple times if I want to cut different bits of it, you know, so I can take the beginning of it and the end of it and then have different bits. And then I can play my video. Oh, well, we're starting out with the screen recording, but soon we're going to be transitioning to being on an airplane. Oh, now we're in an airplane, and here's the title text. Wow, super cool. And I just cut to another part of the video. Super great. There you go. And it fades out. Right? So what I'm picturing is that you record some, I'm going to turn this off, this madness. You can record some stuff on your phone, clip it together, upload it to YouTube, done, right? It doesn't need to be terrific quality. And YouTube, by the way, YouTube is free and unlimited. Like you load something up on YouTube and it's there, it's done forever, right? And you can do public, private, and then unlisted. Unlisted is where the videos like this one that we're doing right now in our call goes, which is nice. So unlisted is good if you have like internal family stuff, whatever. This, by the way, is Teleprompter. This is a video app that lets you record while you, okay. I totally blew the recording, sorry. This started recording video, so it broke the broadcast. But anyway, that lets you have a teleprompter, which is kind of fun. It's called Teleprompter. It's a premium app. Okay, I'm going away from this now. It's time to move back to us hanging out together. Was that fun?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm back. Yeah. What other thoughts do you guys have around video? What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you think it's a good idea? More of it, less of it? Are you resisting it?
So I personally don't watch videos. Like whenever I click on a story, like on, I don't know, CNN or whatever, and I see that it's a video instead of an article, I'm just kind of like, ugh, I don't have time to sit here and read. I'd rather skim quickly. Oh, my husband just walked in the kitchen and he's nodding. And I consider myself to be an early adopter in other things. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm alone in my meh for videos or what.
Well, what's everybody else think? Because I have some thoughts that I want to share, but would love to hear other folks' thoughts first.
I love videos. I'm very visual, and I like the videos to be short. Some of the things on YouTube, people are talking, shouldn't be talking, and just say what you got to say and be done. That might be military in me because, you know, we got 1,000 things to do every second. So, you know, say what you got to say and we're all moving on to the next thing. So short videos I like, and I'm visual. I get it. I get the whole concept, but it doesn't take all day. It doesn't take 20 minutes. You can tell me in 2 minutes and that's fine.
That's true. I will watch a video if it's under 2 minutes. If it's over, I clicked on something the other day on YouTube. It sounded like a really interesting topic and it was 16 minutes. And I was like, no, I'm not, I don't know what, no.
Okay. All right. So there's an affinity for shorter videos. That's good.
Yeah.
What else do you guys think? Who else has an opinion? I would love everyone's opinion because I'm very curious about this.
Tony, I'm a firm believer in videos. I used to use it. I was involved in another business where we deconstructed old textile mills and reclaimed all the wood, brick, and stone. And we found it to be extremely successful. We're marketing to architects and contractors and designers. But like everyone else said, we had to keep those under a minute because you lose your audience. So we could literally show a progression shot of taking down a mill from start to finish in 45 seconds, you know, over a period of a year. That was a really cool process. But we did one, it was a large horse barn down in Florida, Hollywood. It was one of the larger horse barns ever made with reclaimed wood. And it got picked up by some horse association. And like within a week, we had like 50,000 followers on that one video. So, and getting calls all over the place from architects wondering about, you know, where this wood came from. So yeah, it can be a very valuable tool if it's done right.
Got it. Cool. And Jennifer, I know you've been, you know, interested in online content, obviously blogging. So how does this all fit in for you? We lost her. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Jen, I would say, you know, I was in the same boat. Like when I'm reading an article, I always want to read. I don't want the video. But I think it depends on your context. It depends on your, like the specific like use case. Cause like when I'm surfing the web, I usually just want to read and I hate being forced to look at a video, but sometimes I really want a video. Like, if I'm learning how to repair something, I'll look on YouTube and I want the video where I can see the, you know, like how they do it and why I'm screwing it up. And actually one of the best lead generators I'm starting to get now for this group is the business model template walkthrough. So on YouTube right now, I have a video of me walking through how the co-working business model template works. And it's just a screen share. So like I blab in the beginning a little bit, just introducing it. And then I walk through like how the toolkit works. It's a 21-minute video. It has 4,000 views. It's getting a substantial amount of traffic. Now, it just so happens that a lot of people are searching for co-working business models. So this happens to be a pretty popular term. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. There's a lot of interest out there. I think it's worthwhile to have like a video, right? At least like 1 or 2 videos of just little bits and pieces of what's, introducing your community, who you are, you know, and having the voices of your members, I think makes a huge, huge difference if you can. And I would also make it not a big deal. Again, you know, try to specifically make it not a big deal. To say, you know, at your next event, your next happy hour, hey everybody, I'm gonna be coming around with the camera when we're mingling. Would love for you to just spend 30 seconds to say hi to the camera and say something a little bit about why this thing is important to you. And then just, you know, clip, string them together, upload to YouTube, and, you know, make an intention to not make it a lot of work. And if you're thinking of working on it and maybe feeling a little resistance, we got a group and we can help each other out. And I need to make more videos too, so we could do a little co-working session together as well.
Perfect.
Cool. What else? What else? What else?
Juicy. Let's talk about Juicy. What we're going to do in New York.
What are we going to do at Juicy? What do you want to do? You want to get together, do a little brainstorm session?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
I haven't registered yet, but I will.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing another Camp Juicy workshop on community building, same as last year. Well, it won't be the same presentation as last year, but same kind of time slot. But outside of that, I'm excited to be around and be available, and I would love to do something fun. I really think it would be nice to do something experiential where we can really do something around what co-working and what co-working community really feels like. So it might even be fun to do something social, get some of my old co-working space members together and have them tell some stories of what their favorite co-working experiences were like and some of the programs that we did and things like that. So it might be fun to do that and get that on the calendar maybe the day before or the day after Juicy. I don't know when would make the most sense. Maybe the day after, because that's when people are still in town but flying out of town, so they might have like the morning, you know, like the day they check out from their hotels. I don't know. How's that landing for you, Lotta?
I don't know. I don't remember my flight plans. I'm not so sure. I have to get back to you on that.
Okay. And so for those of you who are considering this is April 22 to 24 here in the concrete jungle. And it is, where's my mouse cursor? It's going to be usa.juicy.co. And for some reason, it is breaking my computer. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and there is a discount code. I think it's Tony is Juicy. If that doesn't work, then let me know.
JUICY or JC?
Tony is GCUC. Yeah, I just pasted it into the chat.
Yeah, I'm leaving on Tuesday, the 24th of April, in the evening.
Okay. All right. So we would need to do something maybe Saturday the 21st.
That's my birthday.
Happy birthday. We'll give you a shout out.
Maybe I'll go to New York for my birthday. I wasn't going to go, but I don't know. I'm starting to think that it might be a nice morale boost just before my space opens.
Have you been before?
To Juicy? No.
Yeah, I went last year, and it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
And I did the boot camp. I did that. Of course, this year I don't need to do it, but even the boot camp, it provided a lot of content. Now, I was particularly interested in, okay, I understand this, where's the money? And that they couldn't answer. So I didn't get everything I wanted, but I got enough to bite the apple and move forward.
When you were saying where's the money, you mean in terms of financing your space?
Yeah, in terms of financing your space, right.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so the main conference is 23-24, and then the Camp Juicy, which is specifically for the co-curious, for people who are starting, is April 22nd. And they've broken that out into a separate ticket. So it's a one-day $200 program. And then if you want the whole package, it's $600. And of course, let's see what my code gets us. Oh, crap. All right, I'm gonna get us a different code. All right, I'm gonna work on that. Put it in my notes. But we should be able to get, you know, something 10% off, something like that. And is anybody else like? Are you guys considering going and not sure? Anything like that?
Yeah, I guess that's me. I wasn't thinking about it. I was just wondering if it was really of any benefit to someone who hasn't opened their space. But like I said, I'm reconsidering.
I would say it's of particular value to someone who hasn't opened their space. Yeah. So I've come to every US GC. I've been integrated with them for a long time. I've spoken at every US GC, and so, you know, obviously I have a bias towards it. Although I would say I also like want to be mindful of the money that you spend and how all that works. This is my sister's dog, by the way. This is Paddington.
Paddington.
So, yes,
Aww.
Paddington Bear. So he's doing what he normally does, which is sleep, which is nice. Anyway, I think Juicy's great, but I'm also mindful of your money. So, you know, it's not a cheap thing, especially going to New York City. But I think if you go, you know, it'll be worth it. And if you do go, then I'll make sure that you have an extra special time because, you know, you're one of mine. And I want to make sure we have some good gear. We should have some like promo stuff that we can wear or something. Should have like some kind of badge or something. Be like, yeah, we're New York Cities. We're awesome. You should join us. We should have that anyway.
That's right.
I do have some stickers. Yeah, okay, we'll get to it.
We can see them on the back of your wall. They're all over the place.
Yeah. Actually, I can show it to you. I realize it's on my laptop, but I'm using a separate camera. So, oh, there it is. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm running out, so I need to make some more fresh promotional media for. Gosh, April's coming up fast.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, and this is completely off topic, but I'm just realizing I had this question. Tomorrow I'm meeting with one of the members to sign the membership agreement. And I do have some wording in the membership agreement that they should be insured. They should have insurance for their business because that's a part of doing business and, you know, basic expected business expense. And then does anybody out there ask for proof of insurance? Because our insurance agent, you know, was like, yeah, of course, that's what you do. But again, that's how things have been done. Have you heard of anybody? I saw the wording of one co-work site that reserves the right to ask for the proof of insurance. But is anybody planning to do this, or are they doing it? Anything beyond like it's your responsibility to insure your business and, you know, because I guess what I'm thinking of is like the person who has a meeting and somebody comes to their meeting and falls down, okay, at the meeting. You know, then they're going to be, you know, I guess that would go against us if they don't have insurance. Their own client. And I guess according to our insurance agent, they'll go after you either way, whether they have insurance or not. Everybody will turn on each other, I guess. That's how the insurance agent sees it. Again, that's an old way of looking at things, and hopefully we'll have more positive people than that. But
I wouldn't expect like a freelancer to have insurance for their business. Like, I mean, maybe if they're renting a private office or maybe a dedicated desk, but.
So that means if there's something that happens at your site, then that would be on you, right?
So yeah, John, I think you're gearing up to say something, right? Because
yeah, that's gonna to be honest with you, Jen, what they're gonna look for is who has the deepest pockets, and if someone, you know, unless you own that building,
we do.
You own the building?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good and bad. They're going to come toward generally the building owner first. Then they're going to follow up with the tenant, which would be also you. And then if you want to look at this as sort of a sub agreement, sub tenant or sub membership, then they'll go after the your member. But they're probably going to be the least in line because the insurance company is going to see who has the deepest and usually the building owner first and foremost. And that's why the building owner requires you to have, or in other situations where you're leasing a space, they're going to require you to have the necessary coverages.
So yeah, I would just add.
Yeah, we have that sort of thing. So you're saying it doesn't really matter. What was that?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, so, well, it sounds like John's saying it doesn't really matter if they have insurance. They're going to start with the big pockets, you know, supposedly big pockets anyway, and work their way down.
It's good to have that language, and you can surely ask for a certificate of insurance, whether they provide it for you and how hard you want to push for it. But in a case like that, you can say, well, it's a requirement in their lease, and here it is. You know, I can't, you know, you don't know if their insurance lapsed or not, because then they'd have to give you the only way you can do that is if they add you as an additional insured. And that seems like a lot of work for just a membership that might roll over on a monthly basis.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the language that the insurance agent, you know, was explaining to us. So it seems like the most likely thing that might happen, and this happens all the time, like if somebody gets hurt and you go to the doctor, they'll always ask you, well, where did this happen? And then that becomes, I guess it becomes a matter of the deductible at that point.
Well, first they have to file a claim. They have to come after you to prove that you were, you know, liable in this. But it's just, that's probably more of a question for your insurance. I would take the advice of your insurance agent on what they feel is going to be necessary for your particular situation.
Yeah, he's talking about either, you know, proof of insurance, and even better, being named as additional insured. But again, he's not a co-working person. He didn't know about co-working to start with. So,
that is, in my experience, that is all pretty straightforward, though. I mean, the general rule that I've seen is people do ask for proof of insurance. People don't do ask for people to carry insurance. Don't actually follow up and, you know, ask people to prove it. And you know, I haven't heard of it ever being a problem. Okay. I would say that for, like, you have an anchor tenant, right?
Yeah.
So the anchor tenant's a whole other story, right?
Right. That's not even going to be a question. I know I can easily get that done.
Yeah. So that's a thing where, like, they should have their own policy and name you as an additional insured, as a subtenant. And I should preface all this with, I'm not a lawyer, and I definitely did it the spit and glue way. So, so to anyone who watches this, take everything I say with that grain of salt. But yeah, and you have like an umbrella policy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the umbrella policy is, you know, slip and fall, somebody sues you, the policy covers you, and hopefully that doesn't happen more than twice in a year. Or like whatever your policy covers.
It doesn't need to happen once a year.
Hopefully it never ever happens, as it never happened for me in 7.5 years, and hopefully you know, knock on wood, you'll have the same good fortune.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Jen, I was just going to add, usually when I was subleasing retail space, the insurance requirement was really more for the tenants. In case they came into your space and got hurt, not so much for a guest. I think that's a realistic thing to ask for. If they slip and fall, you know, they're you're not going to get sued by them for, you know, for their misfortune.
Okay.
Not to say you're not going to get sued, but, you know, at least you're covered.
Okay.
All right. Any other last minute thoughts before we call it a day?
Yeah, just put in your code for GCUC. It says oops.
Yeah, I'm going to message them right now to find out what's going on. All right, I will pass that along as soon as I know.
Thanks, Tony.
Good to see you.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.